We do have one more build here. I really like this one. Let's look at the skill list, right? So, like, the weapon we're going to be using is definitely ice. It has ice, stuff going on with it. But the skill that we're going to be using, that's two skills that we're going to be using that are just crazy good, are living weapons, right? Which applies dazed. Okay, and dazed increases chance to receive critical strikes by 1%. We're going to come back to that, because these basically are going to be doing insane damage based upon crit. And then we have Icy Vortex. That's the other one that's going to be doing some heavy lifting for us. So this applies slow, and then it does damage based upon the number of stacks of slow on a target. So it's actually, it combos with itself, which is good. Now, our weapon skill does apply slow, both of them. So that also works very well with our weapon skill here. Now, the other skills are kind of interesting, because we're going to be playing around these living weapons. So we're going to use Might, which increases damage modifier of us and allies. And then we're also going to be using the other character skill, Precision Wave, which increases critical chance of both me and nearby allies. Now, what makes this even better is the artifact for all of the weapons for this character summons Gilkin Servants. So, and there are so many of these that get summoned. And then these are also going to apply slow. Now, you probably could use another weapon here and not go the slow route, but I found that the Icy Vortex damage is just so high that I think it's worth considering, okay? So now, the runes we're going to be looking for, or the runes that I use, are my normal, Weapon Expert and Reroll Mastery. This gives me the weapon skill, this gives me rerolls. I've probably seen those before. They're very good. You can flex the other one up here. It doesn't have to be. I'm just getting a material harvest rune. But frankly, if you thought there'd be something else that's good for this build, I think you could go like skill mastery and grab something else. I don't know what it would be, but that might be something interesting. And then all of our other runes here, they are entirely crit based. So you have your normal 3 crit runes here, right? Critical Mastery, Vulnerable Target, and Fateful Strike. Now, the one that I just think is just so good is Critical Mastery, which allows us to convert a portion of our critical chance into critical damage. And this even includes effects like Dazed, which trigger on foes. You can stack them on foes. That increases your critical chance on that particular enemy. I think this is just a crazy good rune. And if you're doing anything with crit, you should have this in your build, like, for sure. The other two ones are just increased critical chance and then increased critical damage by 60%. Very good. And then the last one here is Vulnerable Exploit, which is going to increase our damage based upon the number of stacks of Dazed or Disoriented. And honestly, I'm not sure that this one is actually the best one to take. It might be just Lord's Bane, because this requires us to stack Dazed and Disoriented, and it caps at 25%. And honestly, yeah, I think it's better just go Lord's Bane, because Lord's Bane just gives you 25% damage whenever a Lord of the Void is alive. So let's just take that one. That one's probably better, right? So that's what we're going to be running, okay? If you like the build so far, and you just came here to see what the setup looks like, I appreciate it. Feel free to like and subscribe, and I will show you how I play it next here. So we have full curse. We'll just go into the first area here, and we can see how it plays out. Now, the skills that I mentioned earlier are pretty much, like, a lot of them are kind of, I feel like, hard and fast. You have to take those skills. Like, you have to take Living Weapons. You have to take Might. Well, Might, and the other, like, one that buffs allies. And then you have to take Icy Vortex, which kind of leaves you with just one slot. And that one slot, you probably just want a skill that gives you more slow. So Blizzard or, something like that. You can already see here just the weapon, like, at the beginning, this first weapon skill, it just does so much because it chains between enemies. And so that alone, like, will help us out here at the beginning and just keep us, keep us alive. Basically just mow down enemies. Alright. Okay, this is our special character skill. Pretty awesome. Alright. Let's get our first skills here. So, you could definitely go, like, something with Glacial Trident. It definitely does a lot of damage early, but it's not going to be very good, like, later on. So, we'll grab Powerful Strikes, and so here we definitely want to grab Precision Wave. That's going to be super helpful. Vicious Strikes, awesome. Make sure our first hit is a crit. Take that. Powerful Strikes again. We'll want to reroll a bit here, so there we go. Ice Vortex, that's our other one that we really need. And then we're going to look for Living Weapons. That is kind of another critical one here that we're going to look for on this next round of skills. So let's see if we can find that. One's very important. There we go. Living Weapons right there. Perfect. So we're going to be set up. Now, basically, you want to upgrade your Living Weapons or Ice Vortex and then your buffs. So it's pretty straightforward, right? Area Modifier is good. Okay. Means our buffs kind of apply at a further range too for our allies. I'm gonna go ahead and level again here before this round, this wave. So reroll again. We're looking for might, something that buffs our allies. Probably could take magic missiles or something for now. Yeah, that's fine. We'll just grab that. You don't need any defensive skills. Just take area modifier. Damage modifier, that is awesome. Ooh, but see, this is all attacks apply slow. Now, this is going to be good because there's something called hypothermia, and that will do great things with Touch of Ice, so we'll keep an eye out for that as we go here. Alright, let's see what our Living Weapons and Gilkin Servants do. Looks like they are doing work. Yep, not bad at all. Cool. Very, very good. Alright, 10 levels here. I'm gonna reroll a little bit. Damage modifier for those. It's not great, but we'll take it. There's Might. I think we're gonna take that instead of the magic missiles, although you can probably argue for that, but we'll switch it out. Potency for that. So damage modifier for skills that aren't holy. That's good. Oh yeah, increased quantity of the swords. Love that. Expansive. Damage for living weapons is really important. Good that we got that one there. And we also want damage for the Icy Vortex. That's definitely another one that we'll look out for. I like how the screen like changes color for this character on when you grab their special skill. Ooh. Got trapped. I got out. Ah, flamethrower, I see. There we go. Living weapons doing what they do. There we go. Oh, one more. Nice. Okay. Ooh, multicast for our ice skills. Multicast in general. Might upgrade. Cast frequency for living weapons, that's great. Cast frequency or might. Ah, here we go. Here is the hypothermia. So whenever we apply slow, we apply disarray. And disarray will increase our damage, at least most of the time. So definitely grab that. And then look at this. We can have something where all of the attacks now apply disarray. That is excellent. So grab a few of those. Right. Reroll that. Damage, area. Grab something for experience, that's always important. Upgrade the hypothermia. Multicast. I get damage for those, that's fine. Now we should be in a very good spot. One cool thing about this character is they have like passive healing from their like Gilkin servants, so it makes them like, I feel like, very, you know, straightforward and, you know, kind of easier to play, because some of the time, like, the character might be so strong, but the only issue is you have no healing, and so you kind of, you know, eventually, like, you're just going to get hit by a lot of things. I don't know. At least I am. So, it just ends up that you end up dying for that reason. But with this character, you have some healing built in, and that just helps you stay alive much easier. Go. Look at that. Now they're really starting to fall. Yeah, now they're really starting to go down fast. I do think once you get the Icy Vortex, like enough slow stacks, and then it crits, I think that just does crazy damage right there. And then Living Weapons, like, if you get them to, like, crit on every hit, you know, if you get a 100% crit chance and then you have, like, bonus crit damage, they just start really hammering away, too. Alright, let's see what else we can get here. Cast frequency. Multicast of Icy Vortex. That's awesome. I think it's going to be better... Oh, man. This is a tough one. But I think... Let's get damage of Living Weapons. Okay, damage of all of our things that are not holy. Crit chance. Damage of Icy Vortex. Okay. Looking good. I do need movement speed, too. At some point. Or, like, more dashes or something. More mobility. Should probably, like, you know, take down some of these towers that are, like, shooting at me, but... I usually just ignore them. Probably not the wisest decision. Let's go take one out. Grab this while I'm at it. Look at that. They're just falling down, like... Nice. I'm gonna level up here, see if I can get some mobility of some sort. Not quite. Just grab that. Okay. Ooh. More living weapon damage. That's fine. No mobility, but still satisfied with the progression. Alright, let's go take out some more of these towers over here. Gather more minerals, too. Well, we currently have 13 living weapons and 20 Gilkin servants out. Pretty good.
Let's see if you sink or swim.
Alright, let's see how this goes. Last wave. There we go. Not bad. Under 8.5 minutes.
Tilts back, but I'm not done pushing. Let's move.
Awesome. And of course we could go further, but I think we'll end it there. Let me know what you think about the build in the comments. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next build video.